His 16-year career at Cliftonville included 544 appearances with 103 goals. He won 2 Premier League medals, 5 League Cups and 4 County Antrim Shields, as well as being Cliftonville's longest serving plumber and a father of 4. Massive round of applause for George McMullan. Madness. Can you hear me? Push it up. Hello? Got me. There it is. Sat in front of 100 people and couldn't take a coat off. That's a bit mad, isn't it? Couldn't have just pulled your coat off on the way up. Nothing. Is that a jacket? What do you want me to take it off? No, leave it on. Honestly, it's probably best left on. Somebody never put the heating on, so you need a plumber? Trying to save money. Obviously, I mentioned on the way up that you're father of 4. 4, yes, 4. And we all know who the 4th one is. Alfie the dog's the 4th dog.
Anybody got a dog?
Everybody, right, now listen, everybody can have a dog, right? But a quick show of hands, how many people put their dog's name on their Christmas cards? 1, 2. 3 lunatics, but 2 of them are Hardys, so it's only 2 lunatics. That's dead on. I was in Georgie's house the other week. It was about 12 o'clock. He's just back from football, kids running about. George is cooking. I just want to show you where the dog is in the lifestyle. And this is why we're at 4 kids. And there's the food's cooking, and there's a little sausage roll sitting there just dinged out of the microwave. And then there's a lovely wee plate of scrambled eggs and bacon and wee bit of parsley on top of scrambled egg, dollop of red sauce. I said, George, who's he cooking for? Who's that for? Scrambled eggs and the sausage roll. He says, no, that's Alfie's and Killian's. I says, for fuck's sake, George, you made the dog a sausage roll. He says, no, that's Killian's. The dog's having the scrambled eggs, the bacon and the parsley, which is typical for George, and that's how he actually treats the thing, which is a bit weird for me and you not to have a conversation when you're walking the dog.
You have it all ahead of you.
I know, I'm going to get my that's right. We genuinely could talk about the dog for hours in the EastEnders moment. But looking at the stats that we went through there, which is massive, you know, we've 544 appearances, 103 goals. It's as good as and all-time honours. How do you feel looking back on your career? How does that make you feel when you actually add it all up and what you've done?
I don't really take note of it, to be honest. It's not really, to be honest, I'm very proud of the goals. To get over the 100 goals I was very proud of, but appearances and all, it's not really something I'm really interested in. The trophies and all, yes, 100%. Delighted, very proud of. But appearances is not really a big, you know, maybe when I'm the same age as Bossy or, you know, a wee bit older, can look back and appreciate it a bit better. Appreciate it, yes, but you know, I'm only retired 2 years now, so it's not really stuff I look back on just yet. But you know, I know I'll be very proud of it. You know, what is it, 2nd all-time or 3rd all-time appearances? So you know, it is something to be proud of because you know, the way football goes now, there's not many people stay about clubs for too long. So it is a good achievement. Like, but the goals definitely, yep, loved getting the 100 goals. I thought that was a great achievement.
And that is, as you say, the longer we go on, the 544 appearances is 2nd all-time in the club, and I think it's only, well, you're certainly in the top 10 of all goal scorers in the club, so that'll, as you say, probably stick longer than what it would have done in previous times. Looking back and watching what you did last season, and you mentioned it already, do you feel that it was the right time to retire? Do you feel it was too early?
I suppose you never know when it's the right time or not. For me, I personally thought it was. You know, there was a couple of games the season before I done it that I just realised I hadn't got the legs for it no more. Obviously, we're having 4 kids. You don't get the time.
Definitely 4. 100.
You don't get the extra time to do extra training. So for me, it was just getting out the 2 nights a week to train. and the rest of your time's took up, obviously. So nowadays you see boys in the gym every day, and I just couldn't get time to do that, couldn't get extra runs in. So personally, my fitness levels weren't as good as they were, and obviously the age doesn't help. But there was one day we were over at Windsor, and the Blues tanked us 3 or 4-0.
Glad you're bringing this up, because I definitely was.
And it's a different game from the one you're talking about, but
You were batting too?
yeah.
Good.
And I can mind the ball coming in about the 80th minute, and just trying to kick it anywhere, just to get it away from me. It was so embarrassing, to be honest, and I sort of knew that day, my time's up.
So even with hindsight, and probably we weren't the best last year, even with hindsight, you'd still suggest it was the right time for you to go out, because you went out on quite a high. We got through to the playoffs after beating Glentour. Even with hindsight, you'd still stick with that decision.
Yes, well, I'm only 36 now, so there's a load of boys that go on to about 38, 40 and try in the Irish League. It's quite popular, but yes, honestly, there's a lot of young boys in the league now, quality, pace. It's just talking to Davey McMullan about Lauren was saying a few boys and phoned me the other week about going down and come out of retirement, and it would be too embarrassing, to be honest. And it's great that you're able to retire and go back to matches in a Saturday, and boys, fans still telling you we miss you and we'd love to see you out there again, so it's better going like that than,
yeah, like going back for 200
people
quid.
saying, Jordy's done, get him out.
Lawrence clearly just paying anybody that will run about. You went back last year, at the end of last year, to help out with coaching, and obviously it must have been a bit intimidating if you walking in the changing room that had such a legend to the club like Jason McGuinness. How did you cope with being in the presence of a guy like that? You alright?
He was only there for 1 week, and I think he jacked it in, so
that guy was quality, wasn't he?
you know who's phoning me, don't you?
Bossy. Bossy normally ringing him.
Yes, the coaching side of it, that was a big shock for me, because I only started out coaching the wee lads team at Ardoyne, and then I think the team were struggling a bit for morale, and Skin had tortured me for a couple of months about coming down. And it was hard work getting out of the house, what it's like in our houses with 4 kids.
Yeah.
It's tough, but
younger 3 are alright, it's the oldest one.
I was able to go down 1 night a week and then go on the match days, and the one night I was down, obviously Jason McGuinness wasn't there because he only had to train 1 night a week, so and he never turned up on a Saturday, so it was alright. It was comfortable.
What did you feel, because on a serious note, last year wasn't a great end of the season, and it was difficult for us to put our finger on what the issues were when you were in the changing room. What did you feel was going well, or probably what did you feel you could help with last year?
Honestly, it was just trying to get a wee bit of a buzz going again. The place seemed to be dead, You walk in the Cliftonville dressing room and you expect it crack flying, people taking a piss out of you left, right and centre. You're walking in that changing room and boys just sitting looking at their phones, looking at the ceiling. There was no crack. Sort of everything just went stale, to be honest. It was just talking to Jared about it, funny enough, for her before it came up, and it was sort of sad to see,
Yeah.
But everybody was trying to, everybody was saying the right things and trying to do the right things, but it's hard to pick up a form like that, to be honest.
You mentioned, I mentioned the legends like McGuinness, obviously, but you've played with some greats like Tiernan Mulvanna, Sean McCarran, John Mulholland. There's some quality players there, but in your time, who was the worst Cliftonville player you ever played with? Worst?
At Cliftonville or in general?
At Cliftonville in general. No, at Cliftonville.
Somebody's ringing me.
Somebody's ringing me again. No, forget about him.
Worst player, jeez. I'd have put you up there if you'd have said
if the ball came, yes I know, but Cliftonville, that's why.
I know I'll get a bit off Mickey here, so I want to let you know a fact about Mickey, alright? Mickey's the worst player I've ever played with.
Ever.
Do you want to know why? Christmas one year, Michael's parent, his mother, bought him. Yeah?
Yeah.
A fold-away stool so he could bring to sit on the bench with every week.
True fact. True fact. True.
I had to get that in because I know I maybe got a wee bit there.
I would love that to be a lie. It's not a lie.
Now, trust me, get better range and he's decent at 5 aside, so.
But get back to your worst Cliftonville player,
Well, player, yes. There's been a few out there. You remember big John McMullan player?
John McMullan with a silver suit and a Mazda.
Come on, after 15 minutes, I think you can get whipped off at half time.
Against Glentoran.
He's here.
Few decent ones. How Beller had a nightmare, didn't he? I'm sure any of you remember Robert Bell, do you?
He was pretty bad. That guy there.
That's Beller, by the way, ex-Reds.
Beller sold 6 seats today, and I thought that he would definitely get a mention. Probably not his worst player in the club.
I was saying he was handy to for taking me to training and stuff. So.
Yes, he could train. He could train before you, couldn't he?
He gave me a lift. It was great.
That's right. And obviously you all came to Cliftonville together. There was a lot of St Matt's boys. What happened? How did you end up at Cliftonville? Because I remember playing as kids and we didn't get much breaks. It was always kids going on trials at other clubs. Even youth clubs, we sort of our best players never got it. So how did you end up at Solitude?
Beller was here before me. I didn't come up with Beller. I come up with Les, D, and I was at me, Les and D. Come up.
These are all St Matt's boys in the Strand.
We were St Matt's boys, yeah, and played there obviously on the Saturday and the Sundays, and then we joined Newington. We joined Cookstown United first. Played a season there, good crack, and then we went.
I remember you never gave me petrol money for that. I drove you.
Lauren Tackles boys. We ended up with Sammy Watson, the manager. That was some crack. And then we ended up at Newington. Jerry Donnelly was the manager, and we played a season there. Just coming to the end of the season, we won the league, and then I'm not sure who it was got in touch with D. I think it was Pablo. He worked with them and stuff, and had asked the three of us to come over and play for the reserves. And funny enough, about a month or so in after training, and I was stuck in the first team. So it was sort of a wee round journey.
It was sort of just people and knowing players. And I mean, D and Les are excellent players as well. Just did they stay in the reserve for a wee bit, and was it hard to integrate after they left?
They stayed at the end of the year. If you mind, I played a couple of games for the first team, and then my season ended. I was tucked in the hospital, suspected meningitis. And so I couldn't play the rest of the season, and then I think D and Les they gave up and they left, and then the next year Talbot took over.
Yeah.
And then a good pre-season and stuff, and then that's...
Looking back then, when you just joined, what changes have you seen in the, from the 16 years that when you started to what you finished? What changes have you seen around the club or around what's acceptable since then to now?
Everything, professionalism itself has changed. The way the club's run now, obviously you look at the pitch. The out pitch was an out bog, but that in itself, stadiums, facilities we have now is second to none. Just in general, I think the board have really stepped up and changed things for the club. And professionalism.
So what about training? I remember you telling me about where you used to train when you were
we trained up at Twinbrook, up the brook. I don't know why we were way up there. That's where we were when I just joined. And then when Tabor came in, he had us training around in the waterworks up beside the banks and all. It was just to get trained anywhere. We trained up above the social club. We used to call it Tabor's gym. Up above that.
Yeah. Where, as you walk out the door to the toilet, there's a steps
there's a wee room, half
snooker room, correct. Okay, you the only place never perfect. Yeah.
So Tower had us up there and would have been a wee circuit training, and would have been lifting beer kegs and all.
Madness.
It was madness,
And back then you used to play on a Saturday and a Sunday.
Yes.
Would you get away with that now?
You definitely wouldn't get away with it now. You look at even the likes of Twitter and Facebook and all. There's no hiding now. Even the boys can't even have a night out. They're caught. There's too much social media. But yes, the Sunday was we loved the Sunday. The Irish League loved the Sunday League. There was that many.
That's right. You weren't the only one. Mickey Collins played. Fran Murphy played even when he wasn't playing for the Reds. Playing for Distillery at the time, but he was playing for something.
That's right. Yeah. And then loads of you had loads playing for Rousland. No,
that's right. The Sunday League in Belfast was run mostly Arnold Park and Cherryvale, and you had a lot of players who played in the Irish League and then would have went over there on a Sunday and played a few games. And I remember you being sort of chased up a couple of times. I think it was Eddie Patterson went to watch one time and you were playing and he was like, get off the pitch.
Yes, obviously, you know, you're playing for your club in the Saturday in the Irish League, you're getting paid and stuff, so, you know, to be playing on a Sunday, it's not really acceptable, like, and especially if you remember, I got a bad head injury, 20 feet stitches, headbutted somebody, so that was the last time I kicked the ball in the Sunday League, so it was, so.
Looking back at your individual, and obviously you've done an awful lot of things at Cliftonville, but in your individual sort of highlights and lowlights, if you like, there's a couple that I'd like to sort of ask you about. One was the Armagh playoff game. And do you remember, that wasn't you, it definitely wasn't you, 100% wasn't you, but you remember somebody done a bet in that game that just would definitely win?
Yes.
Definitely wasn't you, I know what, 100% wasn't you. How much was the bet for?
500 quid.
And what happened? Because somebody told you it definitely wasn't you. Who was it? Not who was it, but what happened?
Oh, just, it was, obviously we were away to Armagh in the playoff, and we were a free one. I think we were 5-4. And I suspended, so it was me that done the bet.
Sure, I try to help him out there. See that? Try to help him out. What was you about the bet?
So mate of mine got to work in, it was me. And 5-4 away to Armagh in the playoff. We had a sort of half-decent team. Like, we won the CIS that year, but she'd never been near relegation. It was a bit of a joke, like, but yeah, we were a free one, so it was a £500 bet, double your money.
But it didn't pay you out?
3-0 we win, it didn't pay out, it says it wouldn't pay out a single. So then it was me and a guy at work had done it, and then we put in, I think it was Juventus or something on a Wednesday night in Champions League, plus 10 or something.
Just to make sure.
I
was Eastwoods at the time, wasn't it? So Castle Street there.
So
they ended up winning.
So they paid out, we got an extra 100 quid or something.
What a lot of people probably won't remember is 2010, Nigel Worthington was the manager of Northern Ireland. And you and 4 other Irish League players got a call up. What happened and why did you end up not playing for Northern Ireland in the end?
Injured.
Go on. But did he ring you himself? Sorry, David. Did he ring you himself?
Yes, he did. Yes, it was. I thought it was a wind up. Obviously, you know, you don't expect that. There was no text or no call from anybody to say that you're going to be getting a call here from Nigel Worthington. But yes, he phoned. Obviously, he says that we're going to America 2 games. I think it was Chile and not sure who they are.
Chile and Turkey.
Chile and Turkey.
I'm still the reason you didn't go, by the way. That's how I remember.
Called up, you know, and I accepted. I took the call up, and then as I went, because we weren't in pre-season yet, so obviously hit the roads, do a bit of training, and then I done my groin in and couldn't make it.
Injured? Still sticking me injured?
Definitely injured, 100%
sticking me injured. Okay. You then had the Man U game, which Martin O'Neill and David Jeffrey were the managers of the Irish League Select, is that right?
That's right, yeah. Harry Gregg testimonial.
That's right, which was a sellout at Windsor, which was absolutely brilliant. How was that experience for you, and how did you behave at that game as opposed to what the likes of, well, specifically Janty behaved like?
We all know Johnny. No, that was unbelievable, to be honest. Getting to work with David Jeffries, I know all the Reds men in here would probably have the same opinion what I had of Jeffries before I went to that game, the training and stuff, is that he's
Go back, yeah.
You know what I mean, don't you?
Yeah.
But you couldn't marry your man. I'm sure Jared and Davey and all will back me up here. He's one of them guys you just couldn't, you just love him.
Yeah.
He's over kissing you and hugging you, and he's telling you the best thing in the world. And even Janty, we were going to one of the training sessions.
Okay.
Just Janty's gay. And we were going down, and Janty's going, I fucking can't stick David Jeffries, he's paying the whole room. I says, Janty, I love him, trust me, he's fucking brilliant. So yes, he tells that. And you know what Janty's like, you know, episodic and all that. Hate the cunt. Sorry about that. So anyway, we got to the meeting, and we're all up doing the meeting, and Jeffries is wearing each player, and he individually was just bumping you up and telling you the best in the world, and you're sitting there like that, you know. We got out we got into the meeting, we're going back to the car, and Jonty, we got in the car, and Jonty just turns around to me and goes, I fucking love David Jeffrey. But he was brilliant, so he was. And Martin O'Neill, who came to the game as well, he only flew in for the match, he didn't. And 100%, brilliant, sound as a pound, waffling away. He was Sunderland manager at the time. And me asked him about Bender at the end of the game. I was sitting there eating a sausage roll, talking bad mouthing like this Bender,
You the ultimate professional.
Or Martin, sorry, and do you want to hear what he had to say about him? He says the biggest mistake he's ever made. He says he's coming in big fancy motor cars and dressed up the 90s, and then he's missed one from 1 yard. He said it was the biggest plumber he ever met.
But you knew that supporting Arsenal, I mean.
Well, I knew that, yes. It's hard work supporting Arsenal. So,
and that wasn't the only time. Obviously, Jeffrey had picked you a couple of times for it was the Irish League select against the Conference select. I remember down at Glenavon playing that as well.
That was brilliant as well. So that was quite a few years ago, wasn't it?
Do you look back at that with a sense of pride, obviously, because you weren't just, it wasn't just Cliftonville then, it was George McMullan that was given these opportunities. Do you look back with pride that other people in the league respected you enough to choose you for those things?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think I have things like that enough here, because obviously you get your Player of the Year awards at the end of the year, but to have the ME games or the league select. I mean, going to one when I was a kid, Minto was playing. Minto scored against Bruce Grobler at Windsor. Sticks out the mail, it was a brilliant night. And then to get to play one yourself. Obviously it was a conference team and they weren't great, but it was a great experience again, playing with all the Irish League players.
Right, okay, brilliant stuff. Looking back, we'll wrap this up in 2 or 3 minutes. So just a couple of quick ones for you, George. Firstly, did you ever come close to leaving Cliftonville?
No, I would say no, but I did get my head turned once. I've said this story a few times. Yes, I had coming into your last 6 months of your contract, obviously, and clubs start sniffing around you. But I was very lucky with nobody who came near me, because I think they all knew rightly that you would never leave. But this one, the Glens, got in touch with me. Scott Young was phoning me after training one night, and again, a bit like David Jeffries, you expect him to be a bit of a
that nice guy.
But he got on the phone again, building you up, telling you how good you are, and there's nothing better in the world than being told that you're the best player in the league, and he sort of turned my head a wee bit, and I was going, he's and the Glens, they were one of the top 2 then there. I think they just won the league the year before that, and he was telling me all the things that I wanted to hear, and turned my head a wee bit. But the next day was the chairman, Audrey Ralph. He started texting me. Love to get you on board. Love to see you in the green, the Glens. We're the big 2. And I said, look, it's very, very appealing. And all. There was never no money or nothing mentioned, because never got that stage, obviously. But there was one text he did send, and it just made my mind up there and then. He texted saying, we want you here at Glentoran. You're one of the best players in the league. And we're a club that wins trophies, and we want you here to win trophies. And when I read that text, I just thought to myself, hold on a minute here. I do want to win trophies, but I want to win them at Cliftonville. I don't want to be leaving, so
win them somewhere else.
That made my mind up. I got in touch with Jared, and
he gave you an extra £4. Five at time, sorry. Wasn't that the accountant then that week?
And then I met Jared and Eddie up in the old White House, the old boardroom up in the White House. And I showed Jared the text message of small Ralph, and I says, I make sure it doesn't go beyond here now. I show you, yeah. And funny enough, I got a message back. Thanks for showing that text to Jared.
Well done, G.
He done me up like a kipper, so he did.
As he does.
No, it was a new contract signed that night. 2 days later, after that was the only time I ever had my head turned. And as you say, yes, history.
You stay with it. Again, we'll just, because we're a couple of minutes late here, just to wrap these up very quickly. In a short answer, do you feel that the Reds, Cliftonville, and as you mentioned, the board and everybody else around it, rewarded you for your loyalty in the end?
Yes, definitely. You look at the testimonial, You've done a big part of playing out there and you're unbelievable. But to even have a testimonial again, to be at the club for so many years, I think the testimonial went really well, very successful, and the support we got for it was unreal. And listen, I can't speak highly enough of Jared and the board and the managers I played under. To be rewarded by a contract every year was something that I took a lot of pride in. Talks didn't never last too long. It was done in quick, right and sharp, and money was never an option. So, I would never look back and go, listen, I made this or made that out of Cliftonville. So, just to be getting a new contract, to be able to play every week at Cliftonville was very rewarding, more than money.
And this may be your last platform, I suppose. But certainly so soon after to speak to people who have watched you playing. Is there any sort of message you would have to the fans who have watched you throughout the years?
Yeah, it's just a massive thank you. Like I say, if it isn't for the Red Army, Cliftonville probably wouldn't have been as successful there the last few years, because the support we got was unreal. Home and away, even in the dark days, you all still turn up. Wet and windy, rainy nights. The Red Army's there, and you can hear them all the time. They're fantastic. For me to be here 16 years, I'm sure it wasn't everybody's cup of tea. Sure, everybody wasn't my biggest fan, but it's just a massive thank you. And I'm only here now. I'll be here today at the match. I'll be here most home games. I'll be trying to get as many away games as I can. Season ticket holder now, so I'm a Red Army too. So a big massive thank you.
Listen, you've obviously spoken enough about the penalty. It was a brilliant penalty, and don't want to go over old ground again. But no, we'll miss kickoff. We'll do it anyway. So, were you surprised to learn? Were you surprised to learn that out of the 103 goals, that only 25 were penalties?
23, I think.
23 were penalties.
No, I wasn't surprised, obviously, because I wasn't on them for about 10 years.
Yeah.
It took me 10 years to get on the penalties, and whenever I did early on, I missed a couple. So, no, it wasn't a big surprise. Everybody seems to think because I scored a few that year.
And an important one, obviously.
And everybody was on the impression I scored about 70 penalties, but
23 out of 104.
23 penalties now out of 100.
Right, Smitty, shut up. Check his stats. If you weren't over in South Belfast delivering green leaflets, you might have seen half of them.
I'm sure Reds would have done with a few penalty scores last year,
because we definitely missed a few. George, just before we go, and listen, this is genuinely the worst thing you've ever said. Ever. 18 years ago, he said this. 18 years ago, your sister was pregnant, and you were asked what she was having. Was it a boy or a girl? Do you remember your response?
No.
When asked, is it a boy or a girl, you said, I don't know, but I hope it's not a girl, because I don't want to be an auntie. This guy captained your club.
Yes, that's great.
That's a fact.
Sober.
He was sober at the time. Ladies and gents, please give a massive round of applause to our most successful player ever, George McMullan.